In episode 35, I covered the original adventures of Thomas the Tank Engine and Friends, a 2-video box set of the complete first season of Thomas and Friends. I praised it to no end, and logically, that would have been it for season 1 coverage. But wouldn't you know it, there's something else I'd like to cover. The Early Years from 2004, a 3-disc DVD set also featuring the complete first season. It has virtually the same content as original adventures, so why am I covering this? Well, as it turns out, I actually have some stories to cover. I don't actually know where my copy is, so we'll just have to bullshit our way through this as best we can. First, let's try and work out when I bought it. This will definitely not take as long as Thomas's Train, I assure you. It's a Region 1 release, so it had to have been an American purchase. I've been to America 4 times in the past 20 years, 2003 and 2008 to Canada, and 2005 and 2009 to New York. It was released in 2004 and I had no knowledge of it until at least 2006, so that rules out 03 and 05. It could be either New York or Canada, but I remember for a fact that the last time I bought a Thomas and Friends release prior to Video Memories was in October 2008 when I bought The Great Discovery. That leaves only early 2008, making this a Canadian purchase. You know what that means? Turn and face the strange changes. Yeah, this is the last time I'll be covering an American release, so that's the last time I'll be doing that. Right, so as I said, I first became aware of it in 2006. It involves primitive YouTube. A user no longer on YouTube, as far as I'm aware, uploaded very jumpy versions of the episodes. It all looked normal to me, good old-fashioned content. I was aware of Shining Time Station at this point, so I did find it weird that an American user was posting British versions of the episodes. That was a very whatever point, but my curiosity was tested when I watched Thomas and the Trucks, and something felt a bit odd about what I was seeing. The footage looked rather different than what I'd grown up with. Maybe it was just a one-time occurrence, maybe the DVD's faulty for all I know. But then I watched Cole.
All he could do was to go slowly onto a siding, and Edward took charge of the train. The Fat Controller and Fireman went on discussing Henry's troubles. "What do you think is wrong, Fireman?" asked the Fat Controller.
Wait. What the fuck happened there? That I most definitely did not grow up with. A year later, as we know, I made that trek to Canada, and as we know, I bought a massive amount of DVDs that I didn't need. One of them evidently was The Early Years. Now we can talk about it. DVDs 1 and 2 contain the entire first season, all 26 episodes, in the exact same set list as original adventures. Episodes 1 through 13 are on disc 1, and episodes 14 through 26 are on disc 2. The big difference between Early Years and original adventures is how the episodes are visually presented. The footage on Early Years has been fully restored and looks a lot cleaner and fresher than on original adventures. I know very little about film restoration, so I won't go into details. What I can talk about are the weird oddities in the episodes. So with the 26 episodes, visually they look great. With Early Years, Season 1 has never looked better, but there are some odd edits here and there. In a fair few episodes, you can see studio equipment. In the first 2 episodes, we see close-ups of Gordon where he isn't hauling his passenger or freight trains. The Flying Kipper has seriously cropped footage, quite possibly to hide film deterioration. The most notable differences are Thomas and the Trucks and Cole, where completely different clips are used in certain scenes. It's pretty obvious that the episodes were recut, which makes me wonder, why did certain scenes use alternate film takes? Minor content like 2-second takes of a non-speaking character or an engine's whistle is one thing, but I'm talking about those big edits. If it was intentional, it's an odd choice. If it was unintentional, it's pretty shoddy work. Both options make very little sense to me. Either the producers requested alternate footage to allow fans to see different content to what they own on VHS, or the editors didn't double check what footage they were using compared to what was in the original release and just threw in whatever they had available, hence that what the fuck moment involving Henry. I lean towards option B because not only does intentional make even less sense when I think about it, but I suspect the editors may have been under a time crunch. The box set was released on October 26, 2004, just over 2 weeks after the 20th anniversary of the very first airing of Thomas and Gordon. That can't be a coincidence in my eyes. They planned for this DVD to come out for the 20th anniversary, and they wanted the footage to look the absolute best. They sent the editors rolls and rolls of footage for all 26 episodes and asked them to recut it all, no doubt with a very strict deadline, and what we get is a slight rush job. Of course, this is all speculation, and honestly I've not really heard any complaints, which at this point is a rarity for the Thomas and Friends franchise. It's a rarity for a good few franchises actually. Although to be fair, it was 4 years after Magic Railroad and 4 years before the CGI switch, so it may have just been a lull period. If you don't like these weird edits, there are other options. That brings us to Disc 3, where we actually have some bonus features. We have a disappointing audio commentary from Sir Topham Hatt, voiced by Robin Smith. I'm sure he's a nice guy, but his voice is no Keith Wickham or Michael You-Know-Who. It's hardly an audio commentary, it's just a crappy retelling of Thomas and Gordon. No one that worked on Season 1 ever appears in the commentary. We also have a read-along story for those who can't be bothered holding a book. We have Build an Engine, where we build an engine. Nothing special. We have a game called Who Am I? No doubt a way to torture someone who has no idea about any of the characters. And then we have Sodor Memories, where each of the 6 characters relive memories from a long time ago, all conveniently taking place in 1984. Right, now we need to talk about Robin Smith. He provides the voice for every character in Sodor Memories, as well as Sir Topham Hatt in the audio commentary. He also voiced every character in the US release of every Thomas and Friends video game released between 1999 and 2008. How do I put this gently? Robin Smith sucks as a narrator. For years now, I've had this belief that Alec Baldwin, while a fantastic actor, was the worst English Thomas and Friends narrator. I actually want to take that back. I absolutely hate Robin Smith's narration. It is incredibly dull and uninteresting and downright painful at times. His performance as Percy in Thomas Saves the Day should be enough evidence for that last point. He is the worst English narrator the series has ever had. Christ, even at times, Stefan Noth is a more bearable narrator. So that's the early years. 2 discs of great looking episodes and a 3rd disc of shitty bonus features. It'll amuse the kids, that's a given. For a grown adult like myself, pass. I'd still rather watch Original Adventures. I have nostalgic love for that release, and I can live without the restored footage. Granted, I don't watch either of the releases these days, but if I had to pick one, Original Adventures wins easily. Right, there's another Thomas and Friends release I'd like to take a look at, but before I can, I need to set the story up with a series I never thought I'd have to cover. You know, now that I think about it, this may have been an Amazon import.
You are such an idiot.